When I was a kid, I always considered my father a historian of sorts. It was nothing professional, just someone I could go to at dinner and ask why Chinese people use chopsticks instead of forks. And he'd have an answer. And he'd tell me the year the fork was invented and the name of the inventor, if in fact it was just one person who developed the fork and not a conglomeration of dissatisfied diners who want a better way to eat spaghetti. That's actually how it happened with the fork, if you want to know. He told me. And he was telling me one day about how the Irish saved civilization. And we got into the history of his and my last name, which is McNeil, and which, according to my father, means son of Neil. So it followed that I asked him who Neil was. This is what he told me. Neil was an Irishman, green as they came, and this back when being Irish was less than fashionable. His father had money, though, and they lived in a castle that sat all alone on a small island off the coast of County Cork. Well, the father, I never learned his name, but he died one day, and up came the issue of who gets the island, which normally wouldn't be an issue, it'd just go to the oldest son, but Neil had a twin brother, and they didn't exactly get along. Hated each other, actually. I never learned why. My dad never told me. But Gregor, his name was. The mother was dead, no other relatives, and Gregor, he challenged Neil to a contest, and Neil, he accepted a race to settle the issue. They'd set sail from Cork, and whichever brother was first to touch the island, and this is important, first to touch the shore, could call it his own. They shook hands on it, and the next day at dawn they pushed off. It was about an hour sail to the island in question, and they were on course to make it in half that time, how the wind was blowing that day. Anyway, about half a football field out from the island, Neil found himself lagging behind, and the realization hits him that he can't win. His brother's lead is insurmountable. But did Neil pout and turn around and call it quits there? No. He got within throwing distance of the shore, throwing distance now. And this just as Gregor was dropping anchor, and Neil, he takes out his blade, cuts off his own hand, and throws it to the island. "It's mine as I touch it," he screams, and Gregor let him have it. I guess he wanted nothing to do with it after that. And to this day, my dad tells me, to this day, there's a McNeil Island off the coast of County Cork with the castle my great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandfather gave his hand for. And he told me that he would take me someday to the castle. He hasn't yet, but I actually went to Ireland without him a few years back on a study abroad program. And I never made it to County Cork or the island with the castle, but everyone I met told me McNeil is not an Irish name. It turns out it's Scottish. I never found the heart to tell him.